Welcome everybody. For those who don't know me, I'm Eric Stewart. So really excited for our September pitch event today. We've got 10 wonderful companies to give you a presentation of their business and hopefully secure some funding. We're going to dive right in, and I'm going to start by acknowledging that we are today gathered on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. We have some amazing sponsors and partners that we would not be able to do what we do today without. And so we handpick these sponsors because we think they bring value to both our investors and to the entrepreneurs that present at Vantec. And so we put our name behind them, and we've seen them support the startup ecosystem a lot. And we really do appreciate their support of Vantec. We're here gathered at Manning Elliott's beautiful office downtown here, and I'd like to invite Michael Weatherby up to tell us a little bit about Manning Elliott, give us an introduction, and welcome you. Thank you.
Forward to the presentation today. Just want to let you know I'm here with my colleague Mary. We represent the tax group and the R&D advisory, so short credits, if anyone wants to talk about that. There is some news that there's a draft of this legislation that there will be a Canadian controlled hub code that might be eligible for federal credits. They're raising the expenditure limit from $1 million to $1.5 million in potential cash, so the expenditure limit $3 million to $4.5 million. They're adding capital back into the program, which is very easy for clean tech. And some of you guys who are building things, potentially there may be some opportunities there. And yeah, so that'll be an interesting year, and I guess we'll see what's happening sort for R&D grants and all that kind of stuff over the next few months. So welcome everybody, and thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Nice. Also supported by NRC IRAP. For those entrepreneurs in the room that aren't familiar with NRC IRAP, we strongly recommend reaching out and checking them out. We can also connect you as well. But they do a lot for supporting early stage innovation with grants, and so they also support some of the work that we do in preparing companies for these pitch events and for the conversations that they have with investors afterwards. Keiretsu is another partner of ours. We've got Greg in the room. Where are you, Greg? There you are. So if you'd like to learn more about Keiretsu, definitely come and chat with Greg. Keiretsu is very similar to Vantec, maybe a little bit later stage, a little bit down the pipeline. So they're working with pre-Series A, Series A companies. So we see a lot of the companies that pitch at Vantec will at some point go and pitch at Keiretsu. We have a lot of our members who are members of both Keiretsu and Vantec as well. So really appreciate the partnership that we have. Thank you, Greg, and the team. I want to tell everyone a little bit about Vantec, and I have some interesting, exciting things to talk about. First of all, the Vantec membership, just first and foremost, you get access to 100 pre-vetted companies. We go through a pre-screening, we go through qualifying, and then we also help these companies in their preparation for these events. And so you're getting these screen companies that are investment ready. You get to connect with other angel investors, and if you have programs or events or anything going on, which you'll see from some of our members today, you're more than welcome to promote them at these events. We want to really support a vibrant ecosystem here, and there's so many amazing things happening in the ecosystem. So if you have something you'd like to announce, let us know, and we're happy to accommodate. We also put on a fantastic summer social, if I do say so myself. We partner with BDC. We hosted on the rooftop of the Stack building downtown. And yeah, we got lucky this year with the sunshine. It was a little hit or miss, but it was an amazing event. And so you get early access to that as well. This is the interesting thing that I want to speak to you all about. So I'm going to actually I've got a little bit of a slideshow that I want to talk to you about. In discussions with Sankat, with Lindsay, and with other team members at Vantec, we want to encourage as much investment into early stage companies as possible. We want to help those early stage investors who are new to angel investing in becoming comfortable, learning due diligence, and making investments on their own, but also want to give you that opportunity to get as much diversification as you can. So this is something that nothing is set in stone. It's a structure that we are proposing. We want to get your feedback on. If we get enough interest, we will consider changing the way things are operated here at Vantec. So we can bring up the slides here. I'll give you a quick run through of what we're thinking. And essentially, it's expanding how we invest. At the end of the day, our North Star KPI are checks written into companies and rounds closed. So we're calling them investment cohorts. We'll probably come up with a better idea for the name if anyone has any ideas. But essentially, anyone who wants to participate will put in a minimum of $10,000 up front. We'll have 4 cohorts throughout the year, and that investment that you make will go through a special purpose vehicle, an SPV. This allows you to get diversification of 4 companies throughout that year, and you'll be compensated on the back end on a prorated basis based on the committed capital that you put in. The idea behind this is that you get to diversify and de-risk your individual investments. So you're getting 4 companies invested for $10,000. You can always invest more. You can do that up front, or you can do that when you start to see the companies come through and you really like it. You can put a little bit more into the SPV. We're able to increase the quality of startups. I mean, I think we have fantastic startups already, but the attraction of guaranteed investment is always going to bring very, very high quality companies to our stage, to Vantec. You get to build conviction together by collaborating with other angel investors and learn how to invest. Now, this isn't just for people who are new to investments. You could be a very experienced investor, and we would very much welcome your expertise in this. But it's a hands-on venture investment experience with a fund-backed process. So essentially, we're looking to take the what-if due diligence process, apply it to this cohort, and allow everyone to contribute. To give you a quick overview of some of the details here, essentially it's a minimum of 10,000. You could put 50, you could put 100,000, whatever you want to put in, but it's a flat fee of $1,000 for this program. This is going to cover the SPV formation, the annual legal and accounting costs, which happen every year until there's an exit, and the cohort facilitation as well. So the flat fee covers all 4 investments. There is no carry. We're not looking to take anything off the back end. So 100% of the returns flow back to the members that participate. And you just need to be an active Vantec member to participate in this. The process is that we would still give all of our members that more than 100 vetted companies. So from your perspective as a Vantec member, if you don't want to be involved in this cohort, you still get access to the same, if not more, companies. And the way that we're looking at this working is we will take 20 to 30 companies that will give a 2-minute pitch. That's the first month. So on a day like today, or the first Wednesday of every month usually, 20 to 30 companies will pitch. We then vote. The members will vote for the top 10, and those top 10 will go into the workshops that we already facilitate to help these companies in preparation for these events. Then on the second month, those top 10 companies will deliver a 5-minute pitch, and we'll have Q&A. The members, again, will then vote for the top 3 to advance to due diligence. And this is where the due diligence starts. So in month 2, obviously you've got the first Wednesday of the month. That's where we vote for the top 3. And then for the next 2 months, we go through our due diligence process. We want to make this as streamlined as possible for the founders, which is why I say it's a little bit longer. We're going to be taking on a brunt of the work there. But Vantec's going to lead this due diligence with member contribution and learning throughout. At the end of the 3rd month, we'll vote and select the winner. We will keep rotating, so every month you still have, so every other month you will have 20 to 30 founders pitch, and then 10 companies do a 5-minute pitch, and then 20 to 30 do a 2-minute, 10 do a 5-minute, but the due diligence is happening in the background. So that gives you a bit of a sense of the process that we're considering. If you are interested, we would love to hear your thoughts. Even if you're not interested, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can take a picture here. You can scan this and let us know if you are interested in participating. You don't have to be a current Vantec member to participate. Obviously, if you want to join, you would become a Vantec member and we will go from there. We're going to send this out via email as well. And so we really do want to see if anyone is interested. If we get more than 20 participants, we'll probably push forward with this. If not, we won't. And I want to hear from those who don't want to be involved what they think as well. And if this is not something that you think is a good strategy and the reasons why you don't think it's a good strategy. But essentially the idea is you co-invest in high potential startups. There's a low investment minimum, you diversify your portfolio, you have access to full due diligence reports, three companies, 4 times a year, so 12 full due diligence reports, and you contribute to hopefully more active angel community. That's my spiel. Thank you for listening. We'll send out an email as well, but just want to get your thoughts, and if you have thoughts after, I'd love to hear them as well. Okay, so moving on.
Like a minute, just so you have the time here.
I saw a lot of phones go up, so I'll send it out after. It's
I
like
count 10.
Sorry?
10 phones take a picture of the QR. So
I love it. Okay, so moving quickly on here, just a quick refresher. I say this every time. We use Dealing. This is what we have as our back office system for following the companies, getting the company information, seeing the pitch decks, and all of the information that's critical to you for assessing these companies. You get access to this and the companies that are pitching ahead of time for the pitch event. And afterwards, you can always go back and look at these companies. You can get their contact information through here. So we love using Dealing. It's been a great fit for us. And this is something you have access to as a Vantec member. We do have our member referral program. This is still going on. If you invite a guest, a friend to join Vantec and they become a member, we will give you a $100 discount on your next year's dues. So keep this in mind, and we definitely would like to grow the Vantec member base as broad as we can, and we welcome anyone a member. So if you have anyone that's interested and wants to talk to me, I'm happy to set up a call. And if you want to stay in the loop, we have our monthly newsletter. You can go to our website, you can sign up for that. It's in the footer. This is where we will promote any of your announcements. We will promote different things that are happening in the ecosystem that we think you'll find interesting. All right, to some of those community announcements. So I'd like to invite Edward, where are you, and Edward from E11 Ventures to tell us a little bit about what he's got going on. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Hi, founders and guests here. So I'm Edward from E11 Ventures. It's so excited to be all of you here after the long vacations. So we know that most of the startups, they are facing some challenges like IP protections, tariff, quality versus MOQ requirement, supply chain issues, and those issues will sharply increase the development costs and will slow down the production. To tackle the problem, we offer the Taiwan Advanced Manufacturing Service. Leveraging the Taiwan supply chain, our service can protect you from the IP stealing, and we can lower the tariff because we select the right and the new production partner, and we can start the productions with as few as 10 units. That's very important and perfect for the pilot tests and the rapid market entry. But also, you get the support from the experienced manufacturers, the know-how, and especially in semiconductor and the edge AI products. Also, you keep stay ahead with the global ESG requirements, which is required by most of the countries nowadays. So here the bonus. Our partners are all certified and qualified by the Taiwan government. So they are ready to team up with you to apply the CIIP funding. You know that the funding gives you the extra 600,000 Canadian dollar for your product development. Yeah, so if you are interested and if your product is ready and you need a manufacturing partners, just contact us. Our email is info@e11ventures.ca. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, next up we have another community announcement. We'll go here to Jeff and David. Jeff and Garibaldi Capital Advisors, and Dave Thomas from SB Insurance. So if you don't need that, we need that.
Hi there. It's a lot of you know who I am, but I've been coming here for over 20 years and supporting Vantec, and thank you for having me. And I'm involved as a supporting partner with Venture Labs, and it's I work with incubators all across Canada. Venture Labs is my favorite one in BC. Some very high quality people in terms of mentors and management. So I want Dave to start off by telling you a little about the programs.
Oh, okay. So Venture Labs is a full series of programs that are open to all companies. It includes a number of different programs in partnering, business development. We have a whole series of webinars which are coming out in this quarter, all the way through this year and next year. And as I said before, we're really pleased to partner with Garibaldi and Rocket Builders to put them all together. We are still recruiting more companies, so Venture Labs has got a lot of good companies in them. We're a slightly later stage accelerator, so growth-oriented companies are the companies that are most interested. Okay.
Yeah. So the particular programs featured this month, as Dave mentioned, they're going to announce all of their new programs on this event on September 18th. One of those programs is the go-to-market program, which Dave and I together coach cohort of companies, and we've been doing this for over 20 years. And I think we have now 600 graduates of that program, and most of them are very, very successful. Tomorrow at noon, I'm doing an update on what's going on in the investment for tech companies. I'm focused a little bit more this time on what's going on at the early stage. So seed and Series A, I'm going to tell you, which are the most active investors in Canada. I'm going to tell you which are the sectors that are hot. I'm going to tell you, infer which ones are not, because I'm not going to talk about them. But I always try to be positive. And I have a very interesting seminar on the 25th, which I'm going to talk about the challenges of getting investment in an AI startup. If you follow the playbook of how you get investment for a SaaS startup, it may not work for you, because there's special things you have to understand about how investors evaluate an AI startup differently than a SaaS startup. So for both of these seminars, it's for both the investors and the entrepreneurs to learn more about what's really going on in the sector.
Of course, thank you so much. So make sure you take your phone out, you take a screenshot of this, or take a link. You can also find it on the SFG Venture Labs website under their events page, okay, if you forget to do that now. All right. Okay, I need to go back to here. All right. Jackson, are you in the crowd here? We'll introduce a little bit about the Startup Visa program.
Thank you, Eric. Yes, we have our Startup Visa program, and we have a very exciting lineup. Our members scour the world for the best deals that they bring into Vantec. Hopefully one day they can be part of the Vantec family. And so our next scheduled event, I believe, is in November 6th. That's a preview event where our companies that will showcase their wares. And it will be very interesting because I think you will be very surprised about the caliber of companies that are outside Canada and really want to make Canada their home. It is open to all full Vantec members. You will receive a link. It's for a Zoom event. It's completely online. It'll be 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's should be held on Thursday. So if you're interested, send an email to sub@vantec.ca, and if you have any other questions, I'm here today, and you can ask me directly. Thank you.
I'm just going to do a quick plug for What If Capital. We just had our AGM on Monday and we have kicked off a new capital raise. And so if anyone is interested in learning a little bit more about What If Capital, an evergreen fund that invests in pre-seed and seed stage businesses in BC and has been doing so for 22 years, come talk to me. We have got to the most exciting part of the evening, and I'm sure you're all looking forward to these wonderful presentations that we have lined up for you today. So we have 5 90-second pitches, and we have 5 5-minute pitches with Q&A. And so to kick us off, I would like to introduce Samira to tell us a little bit more about yourself, what brought you to start Wireless PNC. Okay, so I'll hand everything over to you. Give us a little bit of an intro to yourself first, and then we'll get into your presentation.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Samira Soltani, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Wireless PNC. After spending a decade on mobility and clean tech industry, I realized that charging still remains one of the biggest bottlenecks in EV adoption. If you want the future of shared mobility and autonomous vehicles, charging has to be reliable and seamless. I asked myself, what if I park my vehicle and right away it starts charging automatically? And then I started doing some research on it. I shared the idea with my best friend of 10 years, Dr. Sahar Sam, which happens to be an entrepreneur with a very successful track record, and she loved the idea. So we started Wireless PNC in 2023 together, and today it's my birthday, but also we have grown into We have grown into a team of 14 passionate engineers, researchers, and market experts, and we are backed up with very experienced advisors in this field.
Wonderful. I'm just going to quickly say, very happy birthday, Samira. Wonderful for you to spend it with us. We're very privileged. And just for our timekeeper, so with the 90-second pitch, we're going to do a quick minute of them just introducing themselves, and then we'll get into the 90 seconds. So your 90 seconds starts now.
Did you know that 60% of trips in North America are under 5 miles? This is a perfect distance for e-bikes and e-scooters. In 2024 alone, share of e-bikes and e-scooters contributed to over 48,000 metric tons of CO2 reduction, while showing a market growth of 11.5%. However, these fleet companies are losing revenue due to the problems in pickup and charge, dead batteries, and pushbacks from cities because of cluttered sidewalks. We solve these challenges with our wireless path that charge bikes and e-scooters instantly as they are parked. No more cluttered sidewalks, no more dead batteries, and thus it's reducing their OPEX by 80% and making cities and users more satisfied. We are the only company offering a universal solution for any brand or battery, making it easy to work with multiple fleet companies, and that makes it easy to expand into the other countries. We are EBC eligible. We have filed 4 patents. Now installing 2 pilots in Ontario, while another in BC with PCIA and TransLink. We are asking for $1 million for manufacturing and R&D to deliver our upcoming paid pilots. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Samira. All right, our next 90-second presenter is Brad with Hard Tea. You may have already had the opportunity to sample some of the products at the back here, and I know you'll have an opportunity afterwards as well. But before you dive into your pitch here, Brad, I'd like to ask you to take a minute to introduce yourself, your team, what brought you to start the business. So
Sounds good. So you have to bear with me. This is my first presentation of any sort. Hello, Vantec. My name is Brian Griffin, the founder of the beverage and the brand Hard Tea. Here today with me is Sean Comey, one of my business partners and my director of sales. We created this beverage out of sheer frustration. There simply wasn't anything in the market that met our needs, which is natural ingredients, low sugar, low calories, no bubbles, while still having a balanced, refreshing flavor. The choices for a canned cocktail were either overly sweet and artificial or flavorless, low calorie. So we decided to make something that we wanted to drink. What followed was countless iterations, refining every detail until we got it right. After extensive testing and feedback, the response has been nothing short of overwhelming. People are loving it. We're happy to fill the gap with the space. I got 90 seconds here, guys. Now this is an important fact. In Canada, the hard iced tea and low calorie segments of the refreshment category combined are worth over $1 billion annually. And right here in BC, the top two best-selling products in all of BC and all of the refreshment category are both hard iced teas, followed by a low-calorie seltzer. Our hard iced tea competitors serve up over 10 times the sugar, double the calories, and they use ingredients like high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors and colors, preservatives, even potassium hydroxide, which is an ingredient used in car batteries and liquid drain cleaners. On the other side, low-calorie beverages are carbonated, acidic, flavorless, and to me, they taste like TV static. Hard tea is a premium iced tea that's authentic and lightly sweetened, with just 2 grams of cane sugar, 100 calories, and nothing artificial. And unlike most low-calorie alternatives, it's non-carbonated, so it goes down smooth and is refreshing without the bloated feeling. Not only does it taste great, but the colorful, clean, bold branding stands out on shelves. We've secured strong co-pack partners, a robust sales team of 12 salespeople across 4 provinces, and a great working relationship with the category manager at BC Liquor. We're already in over 300 stores in BC, including 100 government BC Liquor stores with an exclusive 4-pack each. We're raising $500,000 to $750,000 for 10% to 15% equity. This funding will ensure production meets demand through this busy summer. It will also expand BC listings to 3 products, which will bring sales to over $2 million and secure 5% of the BC market. Really though, the product speaks for itself, so please do try another one or 2 or 3 before you go. We'd be happy to talk more.
All right, fantastic. It seems like it was only yours that was not working, because now we've gotten this one. Brad, we just wanted to put you through your paces on your first ever presentation. Really, really great job. Fantastic. All right, next up, I'd like to introduce Sergey to introduce us to Smartblocks Homes. But before you do, take a minute to tell us about yourself. Tell us what brought you to start this business.
Thank you very much, Aaron. I'll take this minute because this is a dramatic story, a whole really worth it. And for your information, during technical break, I offered Aaron to entertain you with a striptease dance, but he refused. So, hi everybody, I'm Sergey, CEO and co-founder of Smartblocks Homes. Together with my partners, and you can see those nerds in white helmets, back there near the window. We lived in Ukraine before war started. I spent 15 years developing smart city projects for Kiev, capital of Ukraine. Our co-founder, Igor, he was our main contractor with 20 years of experience in prefab for 20 countries. When war started, we switched to AI project developing for Ukrainian military, and later we used this cutting-edge expertise to create AI-powered self-assembling building material that actually replace qualified crews in construction. When relocating to Vancouver, we are proud to win Techstars competition with our core technology, and we decided to revoke Smart City project in North America in order to build Canadian communities 10 times faster, and of course to rebuild Ukraine as soon as possible.
Wonderful. We've got the clicker here, and we'll put 90 seconds on the clock. Take it away.
Smartblocks Homes is the world's first building block that actually talks to you about assembly. We've already delivered our first pilot and hold 600 cases in pre-orders, plus 9 more millions in LOIs. The US and Canada alone, including British Columbia, lacks 6 million homes. Even backyard house developers, they lose 18 months, and buyers spend 500 Ks to build a single small house. Both need to shrink afterward. This is why Smartblocks Homes create a flat-packed, universal door-sized building panel that 2 people can assemble with a full-size house just within 7 days. We infuse every block with AI accelerator, different kinds of sensors. So every block becomes a living intelligence, literally talking to you while assembling. Altogether, these blocks create a multi-agent AI system that automate the assembling process just with a screwdriver and your smartphone camera AI system. No qualified tools, no cameras. We spent 10 years for research and development to provide a first prototype, and it began to talk to us like travelers from other countries. And now we ask for 750 cases only to close our existing deals and get money on account. Thank you very much. Our team in white helmets are ready to answer any question, and I want to thank Aaron and the Vantec team and say good luck to our colleagues from startups.
Thank you so much, Sergi. All right, next up, I'd like to introduce Steve Bull to give us an update on Breathe Global. Steve, this is not your first time, and we're excited to hear how things have been going. So before you dive into those updates and the business, tell us a little bit about yourself for those who don't know you, and what brought you to start this business.
Okay, so I went about to reinvent the iron lung as an all-in-one wearable device for people who are mask intolerant, people who need another chance to breathe without a mask.
Fantastic, thank you so much. So we'll put 90 seconds on the clock.
Oops, just the thing.
This is the thing, I'll give that to you. So whenever you're ready, you've got your slides behind you.
Oops.
They're not in front of you, so an extra level of complexity, but
I think I can handle this.
Cool.
Okay, first of all, I already introduced myself. I'm Steve Bull. Since my last pitch to Vantec, we've made exciting progress. We've redesigned the Venti, and we have our first patient wearing it. Here's the most obvious statement you'll hear all day. We all have to breathe. But for 8.5 million North Americans, that's a problem. They need breathing support, but they can't wear a mask because it's too uncomfortable, claustrophobic, or poisonous. They deserve a better solution, and I'm wearing it. RM can't wear a mask because it's too painful for him. He's our first patient, and he is receiving the Venti's maskless treatment with the approval of the FDA compassionate use. The vacuum motor supports the inhale, and when it goes off, the patient automatically exhales. Our Venti is all-in-one, wearable, and less expensive than competitors. Here's how we're going to turn this invention into a business. By the end of 2025, we'll be ready to submit to FDA and Health Canada for accelerated medical device approval. Our partners in Calgary will manufacture the first units for sales to research hospitals in North America. The Venti can be prescribed under existing billing codes, so the logistics of adoption and payment are relatively simple. Then, by 2028, we'll scale production and begin sales outside of North America. With anticipated margins, we expect to be profitable in 2027. We're now raising $800,000 to allow us to complete the documentation for regulatory approval, to continue developing a sales pipeline with research hospitals, and to manufacture our first production lot so we can deliver freedom to breathe to patients who need it most. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Steve. Last up for our 90-second presenters today, we have Wayne to introduce us to our two souls. So as with everyone else, I'd love for you to take a moment to introduce yourself and what brought you to start our two souls, and then we'll dive into the pitch. Take it away.
Awesome. Hi, my name is Wayne Curtis, and about 5 years ago marked the end of a 40-year relationship. It was, for the most part, a really good relationship, but it came to an end, and as you can imagine, it was put together. About 2 years ago, with the help of the family and friends that I had surrounding me, they encouraged me to get back into the dating market. And that was interesting because, of course, I had heard so many bad things about the dating apps that exist out there, but yet that's the first place that people go, and that's the first place that I went. So I introduced myself to them. I was on the apps, and I was very disappointed with what I found. And I went out to other singles and I said, hey, are you finding the same thing? And everybody categorically says, yes, it's a horrible place. So I started exploring the apps and exploring why they're broken. And it turned into an obsession, and one that literally changed my life. I discovered that it takes on average 8 months and 4,000 swipes for somebody to get into a relationship, and it's not really that good. I thought to myself, well, I could probably use my background in business and software and technology to come up with a better solution. And I'm happy to say that I was right. So together with 15 other people, including relationship experts and therapists and counselors and software coders, we came up with our 2 souls. And I'm excited to show it to you today.
Thank you. We'll put 90 seconds on the clock. We'll let you take it away. And this time you do have the slides in front of you.
Oh, look at that. There is benefit. There's benefit to these.
Sorry, Omar, it's not going to work today.
No, that's right. I'm literally doing that. Okay, so our 2 souls, as we talked about, online dating isn't working anymore. And you can ask anyone that's ever used one what they think, and they'll tell you the same thing. The problem is the dating apps promote the wrong behaviors. It's superficial, they're misleading, there's no accountability, they have this false sense of urgency, and they have a disregard for actual compatibility. So the result is false matches, but also a host of mental health issues like addiction, fatigue, anxiety, low self-esteem, depression, and burnout. These are real things that happen to people while they're on these apps. So we said, how do we solve this? And it was really simple. This first stage is we train people how to be in a relationship. The second is we connect them with other people who also want to be in a relationship. And the third is we give them everything that they need in order to maintain that relationship in the long term. So our solution is a relationship app. We focus on matches, not looks. We deter bad actors through our own process. We attract respect and empathy. We slow the pace down, and we attract similar intentions. Better matches, healthy community. Now, this is interesting. This is our timeline. The big thing here is the MVP is created. We have it in Apple and Android. The next step is the university rollout, but the most important thing here is that in 2026, we're going to be featured in a Netflix movie, and we have to be ready for that. So the next 12 months are critical. We're looking for $800,000, but what we want to do is we want to maximize the movie publicity, launch the B2, which includes an AI therapist, and we need to make sure that we're in the languages that the movie comes out. So again, $800,000, we're EDC approved, we are ready for TFSA and RSP. We welcome your contributions. Thanks.
All right, so those were our 90-second presenters. Obviously, afterwards, during networking, while you have a cold iced tea or hard tea, I should say, in your hands, make sure to find those 90-second presenters and have a conversation. And so on to our 5-minute presenters. So first up, I would like to introduce Omar to tell us a little bit about mytrials. So Omar, you might want to actually take that out.
I probably will.
Yeah, there you go.
And more. Sorry for being too tall. Hey everyone, I'm Omar Sept. I'm the co-founder and CEO of mytrials.ai. I want to introduce you to Emily. So 18 years ago, Emily was diagnosed with acute leukemia at just 4 years old. She tried all different kinds of treatments, unfortunately nothing worked for her. The doctors had to place her palliative care. Out of desperation, her family had went on an expedition to find clinical trials for her, and by chance they did find one, and they enrolled her in tour, and miraculously she went into remission and she recovered. And she's now attending UFT at 22 years old and living a life that she never thought she would. And that's the power of clinical trials. But unfortunately, the recruitment process and finding these patients is super complex. It costs around $6,500 for pharma to enroll any one patient into a trial, but it also takes a year and a half to finish recruitment for any one trial. So obviously this creates a very big market. It's a patient recruitment space. It's around $9.5 billion just going into patient recruitment methods for pharma. And this is a market that's growing faster than the clinical trials market itself. So it tells us that this is a very critical component in this space. So as a result, we found mytrials, which is basically a search engine for patients where they can find these clinical trials, and then through that they can join them, they can access them through us at absolutely no cost, while also helping pharma find those patients and basically streamlining all costs between both. This is the competitive landscape in which we're in. I just want you to focus on the top right zone of this matrix, as these are our biggest competitors, and that's basically what differentiates us from. So all of them use or are focused on very specific disease domain, and they use one-size-fits-all questionnaires, just like hospital forms, as everyone else. There's no personalization, and they're also very complex in language. We take all of those and we make sure that we're applicable across all different conditions from all different diseases and domains. We make sure that the questions that we generate are all made with AI in real time, so you're having a conversation with your own doctor. And we'll also simplify all medical language, so legal steps, so everyone can understand and make informed decisions about it. This is us. We're a team of biomedical engineers. I'm joined by Tyler, who's at the very back. He's the last one by Vantec. And we're joined by Dr. Lasso, who's a cardiologist and has been in the space for over 15 years, so he's kind of been guiding our clinical direction in this space. And this is how we find patients. So there are 3 acronyms on this board that I want you to just kind of remember with me. So first of them is PAGs, and that's patient advocacy groups, basically patient communities that offer resources for patients with different conditions. So we use them by offering our search engine completely for free, so they can give them as a free resource for the patients. That way patients can search for trials and find them. We can connect them to those clinical trials. We also use electronic medical records or EMRs, and that basically helps us have a full overview of what that patient is going through, their symptoms, and basically makes the whole searching experience a lot easier. And we work with CROs or clinical research organizations, and we offer them those qualified patients for subscription costs as a revenue. To prove that this strategy works, we have secured our first pilot contract with a potential contract value of 20K MRR and 240K MRR. With that, we've also partnered with 2 EMRs who signed LOIs with them, and we've also signed 3 LOIs with patient advocacy groups around the country. This translates into around 240K in contract value just for this year, and as we continue to scale in Canada and in the US next year, it's going to take us to around $3 million in ARR. But I also want to mention this is a very conservative number. Down to the US to make some key hires to ED, sales, engineering, and financials. Thanks a lot for listening. I'll take any questions.
All right, so we'll get into the questions, and I'm going to pass this to Kurt here. Just that's it working. All right, so I don't see any hands go up. If you have questions, please raise your hand, and Kurt will find you. But to start off, let's dive a little bit into your IP strategy. How are you protecting yourself? How are you building moats to win in this market?
That is a great question. So everything that we're doing so far has been trade secret, but as we continue to grow, information about how we do things are going out. So we have an IP strategy in which we filed a professional patent on our dynamic survey generation method. So basically that's how we ask questions to the patient, how we capture data. So that's the under patent, but also have professional patents that are going to be filed over the next 18 months. It's going to be rolling out to the continued development. And another thing is building a regulatory moat. Obviously, there's a lot of patient data involved, so we have to go through the process, how we can get patient data, how can we take that from EMRs, how we can structure them, and how can we use it to make a matching. That's also patents, but to do that, we have to go through the motions on our own side. So once we have that, it makes it easier for us to partner with clinical research organization as a sticky business. So whoever goes to the vendor becomes very costly to switch from one vendor to another, and also becomes very complicated because not a lot of people are doing this.
Fantastic. I can keep going. No questions from the audience yet. Okay, no stress. Oh, we got one here. Did my work?
What are your plans for future follow-on funding rounds?
So right now, we're trying to bootstrap. That's the current plan. So if we raise this round, we do have the means to self-sustain once we get some revenue coming in. But if we do expand to a point where we need to raise, that's going to be the avenue to go with. But currently, we're just relying on this round to build this.
Another company that has a clear line of sight on for achieving profitability. Yes, we have a question here.
Can you elaborate on your EMR partnership strategy?
Can you give it more? just in general, I can go
Yeah,
on.
just more in general, like Canadian wise in the US, because there's a lot of competitors in the US that are partnering directly with EMRs, so not going directly to patients. And they see a lot of traction. So I was wondering how you're planning on competing with them and then how you're trying to capitalize on the Canadian market.
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a few avenues that we can go into with VMRs. Our main goal with VMRs is to integrate with the point of care with physicians, right? So if they have patients that are visiting them, they don't have any treatments for them, usually they just find me a trial. Physicians have to take time out of their own time, which they don't really have in order to go through these trials. Now, they don't compensate for that, right? And it's also very expensive to recruit a physician to do that. Dr. Laxman was our chief medical officer, actually had a private practice for that kind of thing. Right? And he had to go spend time out of his own time to find trials for his patients. So what we want to do is access the data for patients, be able to structure them, be able to process them, and get all the information required to actually do those trials, and offer them to the physicians at the point of care. So when they get a patient in, they just click the button, and it basically gives them the trials that they're eligible for, and that way it makes it a lot easier for the patient to get into that treatment. That's the main goal that we're going with. That's kind of the first initiative. From there, we just expand to the rest of the DMRs that are out there. And we're also partnered with Providence Healthcare here. So we're getting access to their DMRs as well. So that will help us open the doors for us to work with a lot of DMRs that might be able to.
One more question. Oh, all right. There you go. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You'll be in the back. One quick thing.
For demos to visualize what we're doing, we have lots of the back and Tyler and I speak through. Thanks a lot.
Wonderful. Thank you, Omar. All right. Next up, I would like to introduce Brock to tell us more about Azor Biotek. So Brock, I'll get you set up here. And of course, you don't get this screen in front of you, so good luck.
All right, thanks. Let's do a shotgun. I'm Brock Schumann. I'm founder and CEO of Azor Biotek. Azor Biotek uses AI and other computational means to design new molecules as new therapeutics. And this has been an area of incredible growth over the last 5 years. The top 5 AI-guided drug design companies are putting out more drugs under development than the top 20 pharma companies. And it's reduced the cost by about 75% for early stage drug development. And we strive to get the world's best clinic. We're building the world's biggest AI-guided drug discovery company, and we're doing this by using the best possible clinical data to train it. So our technology is compatible with any drug target, but it was purpose-built for RNA targets, and specifically microRNA, which were the topic of last year's Nobel Prize in Chemistry. And microRNA are pretty remarkable because they silence huge legions of transcripts at a time for a truly profound treatment response. For instance, the microRNA we're targeting for cancer silences 99 oncogenes simultaneously. There's a lot of competition in the space, even for RNA-targeted companies. We are the only company that's targeting the microRNA silencing complex. Another differentiator is our scope. Our technology is compatible with any drug target, whereas PTC therapeutics are great, but their technology is limited to a few rare diseases. This is probably the best AI drug development company phenotypic data out there. Recursion, we're valued at nearly $2 billion, and they're just looking at cells, 2D human cancer cell lines, and they can look at it really fast, but it has limited clinical application. Azor Biotek uses zebrafish and bioprinted organoids, which we can look at. They get scooped up out of a 9-6 well plate and taken into this much more advanced imaging system. We can look at 1 object a minute, up to 10,000 experiments a week. And so it takes the fish, and you can look at really clinically relevant data, such as directly looking at optically derived cardiograms. Zebrafish are transparent. You don't need a special fish for this. All you need is a high throughput microscope. But we can do more advanced things like look at neurological data, and we can look at really relevant for funds raised here. We're raising $4 million for our cancer therapeutics, so we can look at angiogenesis. We can track individual tumors. This is a glioblastoma model here. We can also do ablative studies where we turn the microscope's laser up to 11 and we can ablate a single cell or the entire spinal cord for brain injury studies for neurodegenerative disease, and then we measure neuroplasticity in the fish or organoids to see it recover. We have kind of a diverse IP strategy from the software to the assays. In the short term, the molecules themselves will be the highest value, but in the long term, protection of the data and protection of the platform itself will be, we have to protect from emulation. Our first projects are covering 300 to 500 billion dollar markets. The smaller targets are, these are projects we have with current paying customers, and then the funds we're raising here for tumor and so we're, as I say, already cash positive. We've seen about 20-fold growth over the last year, and we hope to see about 4 to 20-fold growth over the next 24 months. And the highest predictions there would be if we do preclinical out licensing, for which we've already been approached by people in the space. So we've been approached by Arrakis Therapeutics and D Biofarm. And so, you know, even with no deals, we expect significant growth, but we can really start to see some kind of unicorn numbers if we did that preclinical licensing. Of course, that's asymptotic compared to the returns if we do a secondary raise next year to bring things to clinical trial ourselves. I'm Brock Schumann. I've spent 20 years writing structure-guided software in biochemistry, and spent over 10 years genetically modifying zebrafish for drug discovery. Lubos Merrick is our COO. He has held leadership positions at Takeda and Novartis and Alexion. Alexion is noteworthy as they were AstraZeneca's largest acquisition to date at 39 billion. So when it comes time for licensing, he's good to have on hand. And Professor Javier Alfaro has a more formal education in biomedical AI than I do. He comes out of the same University of Toronto labs as Atomwise, which is another really successful AI-guided drug discovery company that's valuated at close to $1 billion. So we're looking to raise $4 million, and most of that would be go toward development of our anti-oncogenic products. And yeah, probably good for now.
All right, so we'll open it up for questions. I'd like to say it's very impressive with the revenue growth that you've had 2 years ago at 200,000, now at $1 million. So you're clearly doing something right. You've got some pretty impressive customers in there as well. Talk to me about your business model. How are you making money? How does that evolve over time?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that a little bit. Oh, thank you. How are we going? Okay, so formerly most of our revenue came in through project-based services, and we've also been accumulating a lot of strategic partnerships where we're not necessarily sharing IP, but we will share the revenues from that. It's easier for at the licensing stage, and we do sell to big pharma if one party has all the IP. And then we're raising funds for the proprietary therapeutics. So in the last 12 months, the clients had all the IP, and there was none of that royalty sharing. But today, you know, I say $4.5 million. That's really circled. There's just over $1 million in the bank. They get bigger logos for their companies. Some of you might recognize the logo for Voxel here, who's I think an alumni of Vantec, and so they're more of a strategic partner in that we are using our technology to collect better information from their model and do it faster. And we're partnered with a lot of the Vancouver Island bioengineering group to try out our imaging platform with their technologies. And we're also partnered with the Genome BC proteomic facility. We're doing what's called pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic studies. These are things you really need to do before taking it to clinical trial, and they're things that people really like to see before bringing it in. Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes, tell us all.
You're asking for $4 million to develop the next product. What's driving that? Is that internal or is that external from market pull?
That's an excellent question. I definitely understood all of those words. So what's driving the development of the drug, so.
What's driving?
Yeah, basically, why did you choose?
Oh, okay. It's because I thought that it had the highest potential value of the projects I looked into. I kind of started this project with non-dilutive funding, and the cancer space is easier to get non-dilutive funding than a lot of the other things. And so I think it's going to have over $80 billion disruptible market. And the other thing is that because it's been indicated for glioblastoma, that's a rare cancer, and it has a real unmet treatment need, and it will be cheaper and faster to get to clinical trial.
Question?
So I'm just trying to understand, are you considered like a thermodynamics kind of research? You do your research or you do the research about?
Well, it's kind of both. It definitely started off just in silico. Yeah, and then our first iterations were trained on kind of kinetic data, and now we have the high throughput imaging system, so we're training with that really clinically relevant data. Yeah, exactly. And so like every customer we have, that's more data to help them.
And those are you planning on evolving applications of your own or looking to?
Well, ideally, we'd eventually be able to do all of it just in-house, since that's where more money is. But right now we have some of that profit sharing agreements with some of our current customers, and the funds raised here mostly will be for developing our own products. I know Anthony really well. Well, not really well. I know. Yeah.
I just connected there yesterday as well. Again, behind you we have one with Lynn.
I'd love to train it with the H2O data.
Okay, cool.
Quick question on the data that we have so far. Is this technology good for solid tumor or poetic?
Yeah, it should be good not only for solid tumors, but there is preclinical evidence that has anti-metastasis ability. So it might be more broadly. So it's microRNA 29 is the drug target we're hitting. It hits the 99 oncogenes, and so that includes a lot of things for invasion, angiogenesis. 99 different angles of attack.
So based on the data that you have right now, what is the biggest efficacy that you can tell based on your data?
I think it might be widespread efficacy, but we probably structured the clinical trial around something like glioblastoma. I mean, we have the glioblastoma model that's really good. I didn't talk about it in detail, but I'd be happy to. It's awesome. But we also have breast cancer, but if we're looking, it would be much more expensive to get into a breast cancer one. Probably we'll focus on glioblastoma.
We follow up on that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm very interested to hear the outcome of that conversation as well. It's all the time we have, so thank you so much, Rob. All right, looks like we're good to go, so we'll put 5 minutes on the clock and take it away, Darcy.
Here's my dog Scout, who's quite a character. People love their pets. How many times have you heard that? The pet industry is absolutely massive. There's more money spent on pets than alcohol, believe it or not. It's set to be worth $500 billion by the year 2030. And currently, the pet supplement space is $2.7 billion. One of the 5 hottest trends in pet products right now is human grade. And 36% of dog owners are seeking human grade on the label. And 48% of pet owners say they wouldn't feed their pets anything they wouldn't eat themselves. Problem is the vast majority of all pet supplements, treats, and food are still made with low quality feed grade ingredients. These are typically not fit for human consumption, and unfortunately come from farms, slaughterhouse waste that are cooked into a powder to make meat and bone meal, which is the primary protein source for all of the Canadian global pet food. These ingredients have some nasty things, carcinogens, heavy metals, synthetic preservatives, and food colors that aren't typical to normal food products. That begs the question, would you feed your child dog food? People really feel that their pets are part of their family, like the children. Would you feed this little guy here on the left meat and bone meal? Our solution at Trueleaf, human grade quality in everything we do. We've built our own food grade facility. This is a picture of the plant in Venti, BC. We're using human grade quality ingredients in our entire product line. We have a veterinary co-founder that oversees all quality. We have a small batch format, which makes them nimble to market. We bought an existing product line that's been in the market for 10 years. It has 17 SKUs. We have great reviews on Amazon and online. We're in 1,000 stores currently, including local Thai stall, Bosley's, we're at PetSmart, Rents Pet back east. We're launching a line of train treats this fall, next generation of supplements and dental sticks next year, 2026. We're primarily marketing to Gen Z and millennials. Recent study shows that Gen Z feels that pets are the single most important thing in their life. Millennials are not having children, they're actually getting pets instead. There's more pets per household than millennials. We're positioning the product at the high end of the market. We have over 70% gross margin across all channels, 90% margin online. We're focused primarily on B2B, but we do have sales online, we're on Amazon, and we have strong interest from export markets. This is a bit of a busy slide, but basically it's saying that right now we have zero ad spend, and our monthly recurring revenue is around $40,000. Capital we're looking for is to supercharge our growth, and these are some of the tactics here. Basically launching new products, spending online, and export markets. Competitive-wise, Trueleaf is the only pet supplement in the market that will be human grade with their own manufacturing plant and a veterinary co-founder. Our next nearest competitor in the human grade space is Dog is Human, a small company out of the Pacific Northeast, currently made by Coman. All the other companies in this space are feed grade Americans, but some big companies here, a couple are doing over 200 million a year. We have over 100 years of collective experience. I have 40 years in the space. I've built 3 manufacturing plants, 2 in the US, 1 in Canada. We did a lot of production for other companies like Newland's Own. Daniela is our veterinary co-founder. She has 20 years of clinical research in the animal health space. Ruth, 35 years in finance. We just hired Kevin as our quality coordinator. We invested over $650,000 of our own money and incurred no founder wages today. We're set to hit $11.4 million in 4 years with a healthy 23% EBITDA of $2.6 million. We want to break even in year 2 around $2.5 million. We're looking for $1.2 million. It's based on a $6 million post-money valuation, most likely preferred shares. We want to keep it simple. That reflects a 20% equity position. We plan to get to break even in 2 years, and we're not anticipating any further raises. The majority of the funds are for marketing, and the rest are little for operations and infrastructure. M&A in the space is strong. Recent valuations are 6 to 4 times sales. You do the math, it equates to about $40 to $60 million valuation, truly for 4 to 6 years. Here's my buddy. Why invest? I think you're not investing this. Proven brand, generating revenue, experienced team, first mover in human grade space, potential 10 times value. And I've set up this discount code, so if you want to buy some treats, use that code.
Great, fantastic. Compelling pitch. Thank you so much, Darcy. Yep. And you come all the way from Vernon.
I have.
I love it. Fantastic. Well, we'll open it up for questions. And to kick it off, I mean, you've already got an advantage. You're first mover in this space, pretty much. You've got a lot of a head start. But how are you protecting yourself with fast followers, with your competitors, seeing the success that you are having with this? Tell us about the IP strategy and the mode to it.
Yeah, for sure. My co-founder is a veterinarian. She spent her whole career developing IP, so we're dental health. We've also developed a proprietary manufacturing process for our soft chews. It's a low temperature process, and it retains all the properties of the active ingredients. And the brand itself, the previous owner did over $500,000 invested in research and brand.
Questions from the audience? All right, we got one at the back there. We'll just bring the mic
What's
out.
your exit strategy? It is an active space. Our company is now looking for acquisitions. A few years ago, it was really hot. They would pick companies $20 to $50 million. There's less deals in the market now, so they're looking for $20 million, $10 million deals, paying a high valuation. One company called Trueleaf Petcare is buying up a lot of smaller, innovative supplement companies, so that'd be good example. They paid like 6 times sales for the last deal. And they've also bought some smaller, 3 to 4 million.
Yes. Any other questions? All right, we've got one at the front here.
First, I'd like to say you have a very attractive valuation. I think you've done a nice job for investors on the work you've done so far. So I think it's worth looking at much more closely. What do you foresee in the future? Any hurdles that you might have based on your experience? And can you talk about the use of funds a little bit more detail?
Yeah, use of funds. There's about $500,000 there to really supercharge our growth. Right now, we need some help in the marketing superstar. We spend a lot of time building a plan. We have a level of sales. We feel $500,000 supercharge. That is about $300,000 for cover losses for the team, $1,000 for inventory for the US market. So adding a 3PL in the US market is really the best strategy right now for growth. I have 40 years of contacts in the US. Right now it's a little tough getting across the border. So putting a 3PL in Salt Lake City.
Awesome. I really appreciate your experience building manufacturing plants and how that contributes to how you scale this business. So tell us a little bit about what the business looks like when you're at $11 million in revenue.
Yeah, the advantage of supplements, I've been in the dog business before, and you had to sell a truckload really to your power bill. Right? It's a low dollar per kilo. Supplements are a very high dollar per kilo, so our facility is small, but with 2 shifts we can produce 12 million a year in sales. As long as you can retain that value. Our product is also perfect for a subscription model, starting at $49.99, which is sort of the premium side of the supplement market, which is also triggered for free shipping. So it's a really nice model.
And we've got a question online here. I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but understanding sort of how your costs compare, or the price compares to your competitors, because I'll read it out here. Reaching out to pet owners to show what the current contents of the pet food and how your product differs may have great impact, but the cost has to make sense. So talk to us a bit about the price comparison.
Yeah, there's 2 sweet spots in the supplement market where most of the volume is. It's $29.99 to $39.99 and $49.99. Right, and that's where the majority of the volume is. So we're targeting the $49.99 model, reflects 91% margin for us based on our current.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Darcy. I will say I have a couple friends who their dog eats better than we do. We'll show up and they'll be cooking pasta for us, and meanwhile the dog will have a steak on the barbecue. I know that people pay plenty to keep their dog, their pets healthy. So thank you, Darcy. And I understand you have a number of your products in the back there, so definitely check those out and speak to Darcy afterwards. All right, on to our next 5-minute presenter. So I'd like to introduce Vahid to tell us more about Envirocatalyst. So hand over the controls and let you take it away.
Hello everyone, thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Venti, and I'm here to talk about the future of fungicides by Envirocatalyst Innovative Solutions. So it all started by a simple test on a piece of bread. I had this product that I initially designed for wastewater treatment. But one day I was very frustrated with the bread going bad so quick. So I'm like, what if this product works on the bread? So I put it on the bread and it worked. Actually, this is the first picture I got. The fungi didn't grow. So it sparked, it made this spark in my brain that this can be bigger than that. This can be used as a fungicide, as a next generation fungicide that is smarter, cheaper, and environmental friendly. So what is the challenge? In a vineyard, a farmer has to go to the field 17 times to spray fungicides per growing season, and the growing season is just 6 months. That means that this process is very labor intensive and costly on fuel. With our product, that 17 times the spray time will be reduced to only 2 times the spray, meaning that the farmers will be saving on the labor and fuel, roughly about 30% on OPEX, which is huge compared to the total 10% profit margin. A little bit about the technology, it's very simple. The farmers don't need to buy new equipment, they can just use what they have. They simply spray our product on the plant, and the main difference is that our product stays on the plant, doesn't go anywhere, doesn't degrade, doesn't get washed off by rain. It keeps the surface of the plant continuously fungi-free, and that's the secret to it. Very simple, but very effective. We have been tested in the laboratory, it worked. More importantly, we have tested it on the field in 3 different regions. After the tests were done, the plants were healthy, happy, the farmers were very excited about it. We have also submitted the provisional patent to protect the core technology. So it works. Wineries are already lining up for us. We have, with minimum marketing, LOI valued at $1.7 million, which is about 7% of BC market. We have a strong early interest from major BC wineries, and we have already partnered with vineyard management company that will take us to the market at scale very quickly. I have a PhD in mechanical engineering, over 15 years of working different multiple startup companies as a research scientist up to scale-up manager and project manager.
I'm gonna hire Azor as my senior test engineer, very talented and smart guy, very reliable. More importantly, I have access to great advisory network from agriculture, technology, and business, so I do have help if I need it. So far, the prototype is developed, it is field tested and proven. By 2028, we are expecting to go to market, having our first sale Q2 of 2028. That 2 years is because we need time to get it certified with Health Canada. We're going to use that time to move the process towards scale. So we're not going to sit still. We're going to work on it. And we have considered also this time in our funding, so we will be safe. We will have enough. By 2029 and onward, we'll be working on expanding the sales. The profit margin is 80 to 85%, very high. I think it's amazing for a high-tech materials company. The reason for that is because the process is very novel, simple, and incredibly cheap. And the product is unique without no direct competition. As I mentioned, by 2028, we'll go to the market. I'm expecting 10% of PC market. I already have 7% in LOIs. By 2031, having 60% of PC market and only 2% of California market, the sales will be over $35 million. What is mind-blowing about this product is that it is not limited to BC, California, or vineyards with $1 billion valuation. It's global. It can be used on any crop. So you can, I'm talking about tens of billions of dollars in market, if not hundreds. Another thing is, it's not limited to crops and farming. It can be used on any surface that is suffering from fungi. I had a moss problem at my backyard and I sprayed it on my fence. It stopped the moss. I'm sure my strata will buy it from. We are raising $500,000 to $1 million, which will be matched by non-dilutive grants. We already have green light from ACT Agriculture Clean Technology that will boost our funding by 1.5 times. The immediate actions are just build up the production line, get it certified, and go to market. We're ready to scale. Let's start. Thank you very much.
And very exciting technology. So I want to kick us off here because you said you have no direct competitors. Obviously, the farmers are using things already. Dig a little bit more into that statement. Dig a little bit more into the competitive landscape and how you truly win here.
I'm really glad you asked that question. So our benefit is well beyond financial saving for the farmers. It outperforms the competition. A farmer have to use multiple products in one growing season. So Cuba, Suriname, all these fungicides. This is because these fungicides are narrow spectrum. It means that one fungicide targets 1 or 2 fungi. So they have to use multiple products to terminate different fungi. Another problem is that the fungi can develop resistance mechanism towards the fungicide. And that requires the farmers to keep rotating different fungicides per growing season, which is very complex. Another thing is that these fungicides, a lot of them are susceptible to, for instance, temperature. So they can't spray in hot or cold. My connections were telling me that they have to wake up 2 in the morning, go to the field, and spray the fungicides so it doesn't hurt the plant or the fungicide doesn't get degraded by temperature. Our product doesn't have any of these problems. It can be sprayed any time of the day, any time of the year, in January or July, doesn't matter. It targets all fungi, so one product for all the fungi. We will be saving a lot of water also because of the reduction in the spray time, and also there won't be chemical runoff to the environment because, as I mentioned, the product stays under the plant, doesn't go anywhere. So safe for environment as well. So that makes us competitive.
Sounds like a wonder product.
That's right. Actually, my mother is wonder. So how did you come across this product? Did you develop it yourself? Is there anybody else who's involved in the patent? Is it patentable? What did you apply for any patents also?
Very glad that you asked that question. Thank you very much. The base of the product comes from a PhD. So I was working on this thesis that I was working on, it was mainly for wastewater treatment. So that was the base. And when I tried it on a piece of bread, I'm like, well, this can be used in a bigger market, better market. So that's how it was developed. But I changed the product, I changed the process. The secret is the process too, because as I mentioned, it's incredibly cheap and incredibly easy to scale. So that's how I got there. And yeah, I have submitted the provisional patent. I'm working with a lawyer to make the non-provisional into the patent. And so far has been so good. I think it's patentable. Yeah.
Were you working for someone when you discovered this?
I was a student at the University of Victoria.
So it's a PhD.
I was a PhD.
Now the university does not own any of that.
No, the university doesn't own any of that. The material is different than what I was working on because, well, I worked for different startup companies, and I became a scale-up manager. And I realized that what we did at university, there's thousands of miles away from the industry. So I changed the process, I changed the material, made it possible to go to scale.
Applicable to all tropical plants?
Yes, it can work on any plant. Actually, this year it was in July that I was listening in the forest in Okanagan Valley, and the guy told me, it's 35 degrees, let's try it, see if it destroys the plant. We did it. It did not do anything to the plant. It got rid of all the fungi.
Do we have a question back here, and then we'll go online? Yes.
Just to understand, it's the adhesive quality.
Oh, it's because of the surface morphology of the product and also the size of the product itself. So it's small. It's not in nanoscale, but it's so small that it goes into the surface of the plant is kind of porous surface. So because of the size of this product, it goes there, sticks there, and doesn't go anywhere. And you don't need a bunch of this product because of this very small size. It has a huge specific surface area. So as long as there's a very thin film on the plant or any surface, that should be more than enough to do the job.
For example, as a leaf grows and expands, morphs something different shape and size, still adheres?
Yes, actually, I was talking this morning with the vineyards in Azor, and I sprayed, I think, 3 months ago, and the product is still on the leaves visibly, and we had a bunch of frame there. So it is. I mentioned 2 sprays because the branches grow and the leaves grow. The product is there, but to support and to protect the new growth, we have to go and spray the second time. Otherwise, the product is there.
That's zero toxicity.
Zero toxicity, yes.
Like I said, sounds like the Wonder product online.
All right, Paul asks, this has a huge impact in the East Asian countries where rice is a major agriculture product. Can this be produced cost effectively for Asian countries for paddy, for example? And health impact, but I think somebody already asked that.
Amazing question. Yes, the profit margins that we have would allow us to make it cheaper and more accessible to anyone. And again, the number of frequencies of spray that is required makes it more affordable other than the pure cost of the product. So that's the other secret to it. So spraying on a balcony, you don't need to keep spraying. You spray once, it's probably good for a year. So that makes it also cheap. But again, the profit margin will allow us to do it, especially when you go to scale. That profit margin is going to be more appealing.
Okay, we've got time for one last question here at the front. I love all the questions, and we're going to save them for afterwards. But you're sticking around.
Sure, sorry for.
No, you're good. You're good. It's not mine. It's Mark.
Imagine that I am the meat owner, so if I'm using your product, can I sell it as the organic wine anymore?
So can you sell it?
Can I sell the wine as the organic wine anymore?
Yes, great question. Thank you so much. I totally forgot to mention that. It is, it can be introduced as an organic product because this product, one, is chemically inert. It means that it doesn't do anything to the body, to the soil. True, it doesn't need to come in contact with the fruits or vegetables. It's just on the leaves and stems and branches. So, and it works. We have the proof in 3 different regions that it works. So yes, it can be organic because it doesn't have any chemical in it. And yeah. Thanks for the question.
I've got a lot more questions myself. I'm sure you all do as well, but chat with Vahid afterwards. We have our last presenter for the evening. I'd like to introduce Hannah to come and tell us about Xpress Select. Hannah was here giving a 90-second, or actually Ashley was here giving a 90-second presentation a couple of months ago. And so Hannah, you are going to tell us a little bit more detail on the 5-minute presentation. So.
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Xpress Select and pharmacist by training. As Aaron mentioned, in June, Hasty, my co-founder, did a 90-second pitch for our community. Since then, backed by our data, we have made a pivot, which I'm excited to tell you about. Women face delays in getting care for a condition that's simple but needs immediate care. 1 in 3 women get a UTI by the age of 24. It's simple, but they don't receive care, so they end up in the ER. And it's not just a urinary infection. It's yeast infection, HPV vaccination, birth control refills. All of this is delayed, leading to an $80 billion annual cost to the US government and avoidable ER visits. We're at a turning point now. The government has expanded pharmacist scope of practice, giving women more access to care. It's worked, but not enough. Why? Because us as pharmacists, we're overwhelmed. We're part of the broken system. So women are now jumping between pharmacies, family doctor offices, ERs, still not receiving the care they need. Xpress Select changes that entirely. At any point, at anywhere, women are able to input the symptoms they're experiencing to receive the right care, whether that is an over-the-counter recommendation, a pharmacist assessment, a referral to a physician, all the way to a referral to an ER doctor. Behind the scenes, we also automate the workflow for documentation and billing for pharmacists, so they only come into play when it's for their clinical judgment, not for filling paperwork. And all of this is not just theoretical. We've been live for 5 months now, and we're in 14 paying pharmacies across British Columbia. We've also secured a pilot partnership with Merck, a global pharmaceutical company, giving us the distribution advantage we need as we're building them a vaccine recommendation tool for Gardasil. Now, in those partnering pharmacies, we've been able to help 173 women in just a matter of 5 months. We've been able to help the pharmacists save 2 hours of administrative work per day and help the pharmacy increase their prescribing profit for minor conditions by 80%. Why are women and pharmacies choosing us at such an early stage? That is because we create a paradigm shift. We turn all those waiting hours for the woman into actionable hours. So they're proactive rather than reactive. What are our competitors doing? They're building more and more tools for the already busy pharmacist who simply is not able to use them. And on the women's health side, they're building more and more tools that are generic and not giving tangible access to medication like we do at Xpress Select. Women's market size is exploding at a global rate of $60 billion. And our obtainable market sits at $1.2 billion per year, backed by our $8 per encounter fee from pharma sponsors, as well as a $49 fixed fee from our pharmacy partners, plus a $3 conversion rate every time we send a patient to our partnering pharmacy. I introduced myself. I'm Hannah. I'm the co-founder and CEO, and I'm a pharmacist by training with over 6 years of experience working in pharmacies. My team consists of another pharmacist in training and also a software engineer and a serial founder, giving us the dynamic team of industry experts and technical experts. We're raising a round of $750,000 in order to expedite the product building process, grow the enterprise deals that we're currently in with Shoppers Drug Mart and Merck, and also grow our current 9K ARR to $667,000 in the next 18 months, just from our pharmacies, no pharma sponsors calculated. We envision a future where not a single woman has to wait for the care they need. We envision a proactive healthcare system for all the women in the world. If you're interested, please come see me and my team after. Thanks a lot.
No, you're good. Thank you. That was a really, really compelling presentation. So thank you for that. All right, we'll open it up for some questions. And I'd like to start us off here. So I really like your revenue projections. You talked about another revenue stream that you're working on right now. It's the pharma sponsorships revenue. Can you dig a little bit more into what that looks like and how that's going to impact your revenue moving forward?
That's actually a great question. So with the pharma sponsors, our revenue, this line down there in blue, is the revenue we will be getting from pharmacies. Once we calculate the pharma sponsors, our expected revenue in the next 18 months is at $1.6 million. So we're currently working with Merck for building the vaccine recommendation tool, and we are in talks with a few other pharma sponsors as well, calculating an $8 per encounter. It's an estimate. The reason I didn't include it in the first slide is because with the pharmacy dollars, we know we have them right now, but the pharma sponsorships are estimates, so it's a number we're working on.
Questions? All right, I'll keep going here. So this is obviously a very exciting development. You're, like you said, having a paradigm shift with the approach you're taking here. What is going to stop somebody from seeing the success that you're having and replicating it, pumping more money into marketing and trying to keep your lunch?
But essentially, what makes this unique to us is the fact that Hannah and I are pharmacists by training, and we're also women. So I think it just brings a lot of lived experience to the vision that we're selling here, and we're able to deliver that tangible access to care for patients. So instead of, as Hannah mentioned, a lot of our competitors are just raising awareness about women's health and what they can do, but if they're not directly connecting them to, say, a pharmacy or a healthcare provider to get the prescription that they need in hours. So that's what.
Okay, so maybe not some potential patentable sort of technology. However, are there any technological innovations and products you envision working on and staying ahead of the competition through that innovation? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got lots of really cool technology working on the background. One of the coolest things about this platform is we ingest all of our patient data, we store that information, we use that data for AI models, we use that data for drug trials, we use that data for just general census information on the health of the population. All this is really guided data that's currently exploring ways to use it better to provide more care to our patients, whether that be recommending drugs ourselves, whether that be fully in AI allowing the doctor to chat with the patient in terms of their conditions and their environment. All those different kind of things that we were exploring, and that really is not part of our goals. Really, we're collecting a lot of data from patients in the world.
The data mode is not to be overlooked. It's the new gold rush. So fantastic. I like that. Yes, questions here?
So how are we doing the last time?
Yeah, so we're now a women's health platform. Before this, we were automating certain workflows in the pharmacy. We're now disrupting,
Yeah, and the reason we made that pivot is based on the data that we were getting from the use in our pharmacies. So the top conditions that people would use our platform for was birth control, UTI, yeast infection, and one of the reasons for that is that those conditions tend to be recurrent. So it also allows for us to keep going with our platform and have users come back to our platform. And as we dug into it, we saw just how much more room there is for growth in women's health and even with menopause and different age groups. So we decided to focus on that.
I definitely like a founding team that pivots, shows strength and your ability to find opportunities in the pathway that you're on. So I think that is all we have time for as far as questions. So definitely find Hannah, Hasti, and Josh, my bad, at the back. They have a table. Please enjoy the refreshments we have afterwards. Grab yourself a hard tea, and let's have some great conversation. Thanks, everyone.